stories for rebel girls.
Hi, Rebels! This is Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls, the interview. I'm your host, Jayla Nicholas, and today we're talking to Amita Parikh. She narrated the story of Octavia Butler, an American science fiction author. If you haven't heard that amazing episode, pause, go take a listen, and come back. We'll wait. Hi, Amita. Can you introduce yourself to our listeners?
My name is Amita Parikh, and I'm an author, but I'm also a software developer, a business owner, a podcast host, and a very proud volunteer.
What inspired you to become an author?
Well, I've always loved stories, both reading and telling them. Growing up, my favorite place to go was the library, and I really felt like books were a place where I could go to escape. So as an adult, I wanted to create that experience for other people. I wanted to build something that would let others live in a world or explore different things that they may otherwise never get an opportunity to.
That's awesome! So you brought us the story of Octavia Butler, the famous science fiction author. What about her story inspires you?
Wow, so much of Octavia's story inspires me. Like a lot of rebel girls, she had many challenges she had to overcome to pursue her dreams. One of these was a learning disability, dyslexia, and I think it's so admirable she was able to push through that and become a successful writer. It was also really great for me to know that she was shy, because I was a shy kid and I still consider myself a shy adult. And sometimes shy people get a bad rap, so it's nice to know that I'm not alone.
That's so true. What are some other challenges you have faced as a writer?
I've had a lot of challenges, just like Octavia. One of them that I can relate to is she had to get up early and write in the mornings before going into jobs that actually paid her, so I did that for many, many years as well. I had people telling me I could never be a writer because I didn't have an English degree. I had people say all kinds of things like, why is it taking you so long? And maybe you're just not good enough. And the thing about challenges is that you can let them stop you, but I think it's way more fun to work towards overcoming them. And I don't see challenges as a bad thing. I kind of welcome them. I think they make you stronger.
Wow! Thank you for sharing. So you're a mentor in the Black Girl Writers Program. Could you tell us more about your work relating to that?
Yeah, definitely. So Black Girl Writers is this mentorship program that was set up by a woman named Abby, and it brings together not only authors, but also literary agents, lots of people from publishing, editors, publicists, and more. And we mentor Black females who are interested in writing books, but may not know where to start. Because it's a bit of a hard industry to get into, and you kind of have to learn a lot of things on your own. So it's really nice that organizations like this exist, because they can really help demystify a lot of things, and you also become part of a supportive community.
For girls who are interested in becoming writers, what advice do you have for them?
I think number one would be to read, and don't be afraid to read something new. I read everything from romantic comedies to mysteries to fiction to biographies, so always be reading. And number two is just get writing. You don't need anyone to tell you to write. You can just sit down, grab some paper and a pen, fire up your computer or your smartphone, and you're good to go. And lastly, I would say don't worry about what other people say. I've learned that when people tell you you can't do something, it usually means that they can't do what you're trying to do. So don't ever let anybody tell you what you can or cannot achieve.
If you could go back to when you were a kid and give yourself a piece of advice, what would it be?
If I could go back and give myself a piece of advice, it would be that it's okay to be quiet. Growing up, so many people would tell me, you need to speak more or you need to be louder, and I never really agreed with that. And I think being quiet is kind of like a superpower. All the quiet people I know are fantastic listeners, they're incredibly thoughtful, they're very caring, and they'll think things through a few times before saying anything, but that's okay. You don't need to be loud to be heard. And lastly, you probably have a really great imagination if you're quiet, which is amazing for being able to tell stories.
And finally, Amita, What makes you a rebel girl?
I think my tenacity makes me a rebel girl. I'm not the most talented writer or artist or athlete or anything, but I will outwork anyone. It doesn't matter how many times I fall. I will get back up and I'll just keep going until I reach my goal.
That's awesome. Thank you, Amita. And thank you for listening. If you like the show, leave a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. And share it with all of your friends. Catch you next time. Stay rebel.